Testing. Please be seated. Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, parents, family, friends, and gentlemen of the Woodhall School. Welcome to the 42nd Annual Convocation and Commencement Exercises for the Woodhall School. We come together today to celebrate the intellectual, physical, emotional, and spiritual growth of these young men seated before me. We come together to celebrate 7 young men and their transformation from boys to gentlemen. And we celebrate not an ending, but their commencement, their new beginning. I would like to invite Mr. Tashi Funsak, Dean of School, to offer the invocation.
Before I start the invocation, I will ask you to please briefly practice mindfulness. We will all focus on our breath and close your eyes and focus on the breath as you breathe in, breathe out. While you're doing that, any thoughts occur, any sounds you hear, just recognize, just acknowledge, bring your attention back to the breath. Now take a 3 long, deep breath, and you can slowly open your eyes. Thank you. Faculty, staff, proud parents, alumni, and most importantly, the young men of the Woodhall School. Today we gather here to honor and celebrate the growth and achievement of the class of 2025. It is with deep humility that I offer this invocation. Let's pause to reflect on the path that led them here. From their first step on campus, they enter not just school, but a community, a place that challenged them to grow, to learn, to discover their inherent potential. Along the way, they have faced obstacles and victories, moment of doubt and of insight. And through it all, they have been shaped by the values we hold dear: respect, integrity, and compassion. Today, as they prepare to take their next step beyond Woodhall, we acknowledge the network of support that has stood behind them, their families, mentors, and peers. Let's give them thanks for their steady voice of encouragement, the patient guidance, and unwavering belief in their potential. As these young men prepare to embark on their next journey, may they carry with them the lessons forged in classrooms, on the fields, in quiet conversations, and shared challenges. Let them walk forward with courage and curiosity. Let them always be guided by the values brought them to this day. Though we say goodbye, the memories and bonds formed remain here. They are the foundations upon which the new beginnings are built. May the road ahead offer promise, purpose, and profound joy, and may they continue to grow into the men they are meant to be, grounded, generous, and true to the ideal they have embraced here at Woodhall. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Funsak. Please rise and join me in singing America the Beautiful. The lyrics are in your graduation program.
Beautiful for
Please be seated. So we have a few traditions at our commencement that set us apart from other secondary school traditions. We have graduation address from students, and you'll note in the program it says the salutatory address, the valedictory address. A lot of schools, the valedictorian, the salutatorian, it's based on your academic standing. That is not the case at the Woodhall School. The graduation speakers are chosen by the senior class. And we go back to the Latin. Salve means hello, and vale means goodbye. So we traditionally have two speeches, somebody to say hello and welcome and someone to say goodbye, but true to the class of 2025, they said, Mr. Woodhall, maybe we can have a third speaker. And they all agreed that Britton Thomas would also speak. So we have 3 student speakers for graduation this year. I would like to invite Michael Dorso to come up and give the salutatorian address.
Hello. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael Durso. I'm the only 4-year, give or take, student in the class of 2025. First and foremost, I want to thank my family, friends, adult mentors, and God for all that they have individually done for me. It means so much to me that all of you are in my life. I could not be the man I am today without all of you, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Over my 4 years at Woodhall, there have been a lot of ups and downs, and the number of moments of grace and opportunities are in the hundreds. If you were to meet me at my first year at Woodhall, there would have been no way you would have thought I'd been giving a commencement ceremony speech. Yet, here I am. At Woodhall, I have made friends I will never forget, and friends that I will have in my life for the rest of my life. One of my most valued memories at Woodhall happened in my sophomore year, when my roommate and teammate, Charlie Gortel, and I designed and built a new locker room for the lacrosse team. We spent days researching different types of lockers and measuring out the room, making sure we could fit the desired amount of lockers in the small space we had at our disposal. By the time we were done with the project, we had turned a decrepit storage closet into a locker room where the team could store their equipment, talk about practicing games, and most importantly, get in the right headspace before we get on the field. Being able to leave something tangible and something students will be able to use for years is very satisfying, but not all improvements are so concrete. When I first walked through the doors of Woodhall, I was impulsive, angry, and I didn't know who I was. I was unable to make authentic connections with people, and I wasn't able to have genuine relationships. When I was an underclassman, I never thought I'd be able to attend a prom, as Woodhall doesn't have them. Yet today, I stand here having proven myself wrong, as last May I attended my girlfriend's prom and had a great time dancing and meeting new people. At the beginning of the 2025 lacrosse season, I wasn't a team player at all, and I was only focused on laying big hits. As the season went on, I started to realize that if we wanted to have success, I needed to play as part of the team. By the last game of the season, I was able to lead the defense more positively than ever and brought us together as a cohesive unit, at the end of the season earning myself a league award. I used to see the upperclassmen in their AP classes thinking I wasn't smart enough to take an AP myself. Now that I've graduated and taken some of the most intense AP classes, such as AP US History and AP US Government, which paved the way for me to get into Marist University, where I'm proud to be attending in the fall. Now walking out of the doors of Woodhall, I've learned to be a man and most importantly found who I am. I once heard a quote by St. Thomas Aquinas saying, "There is nothing on this earth more prized than true friendship." And at Woodhall, I believe I've found that prize. And I'm forever grateful for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And the senior class speaker, Charles Britton Thomas, please come forward.
Hello, I'm Britton Thomas, and I would like to share a few things before I graduate. It all started 3 years ago when I arrived at the Woodhall School. The first thing I noticed was how it smelled. I couldn't think of anything else but the smell. I was fixated on the negative. I wasn't giving the people around me a chance. But once I did, I managed to make some friends, trust the adult mentor some more, and the smell faded. It didn't matter. It didn't matter in the long run. Those people I met changed my perspective on the school and my perspective on myself. If you asked me 3 years ago what I thought of this place, I would have said I was indifferent, or if you caught me at a bad time, I hated this place. But I can safely say now that I enjoy my time here. I had fun and enjoyed it. Despite the chaos or setbacks, I always managed to bounce back thanks to the support of my friends and adult mentors. I have also some advice to give to some of the people here. To the underclassmen, think before you speak. It will save you a lot of trouble. I wish I knew that my first year. Also, try to make the new students feel as welcome as possible. When I first came to Woodhall, it took me a long time to come out of my shell, but the people who were friends with me and decided to talk to me made it happen a lot faster. To my friends, thanks for being with me. It made my time a lot better, such as Michael, Walter, Ekman, Isaac, Will, Paul, and all the other underclassmen. To Miss Skolsky, thank you for seeing my potential when I didn't see it myself. And to my mom, thank you for convincing me to speak. I think my mom and dad should also come up and speak if they want to. Thanks for listening. Off to the next speaker.
And lastly, I would like to invite the valedictorian speaker, Jacob Ekman, to come forward.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. My time at Woodhall has been one of strife, success, angst, and happiness. While only 18 years of age, I have learned many lessons at Woodhall, and over the last 3 years, and the first one is that every failure is an opportunity to succeed. My time at Woodhall and throughout my childhood has been filled with failure, and it was often that these failures were to be repeated. I have been to 3 therapeutic programs, sent away to South Carolina, causing immense anxiety for the people that cared for me. And over time, I have realized that throughout each of these major events, I have taken a new lesson out of each one. For example, when I let my grades slip, having to work extra hard to get missing assignments in taught me the extra and great pleasure of hard work. The phoenix must die for itself to be reborn brighter and stronger. So if you want to change the world, treat every failure as an opportunity to succeed. And another lesson I've learned is that it is not important to be right, but to solve the problem. As all of you know, I argue a lot, and I still haven't pinpointed the exact reason. But I used to argue because I wanted to be right. I wanted to be the smartest in the room because I wasn't willing to put the work in to actually improve myself. I put on a facade of being the best at things, and I thought at first it was working. It wasn't, and all I did was push people away. I only realized this within the last year and began to find solutions to problems instead of just complaining about things. This had an unintended effect. I began to become frustrated at the problems I couldn't solve, and I'm still struggling with this today. But I realized that when I leaned on the support structure around me, my students, and the faculty at Woodhall, that these resolving issues became much easier. There are many problems in the world. All of us can't solve all of them on our own, and it's likely that most of our solutions will not work. We must listen to each other and work together for a significant solution. So if you want to change the world, remember, it's not important to be right, but to solve the problem. Also, your strength is not defined by the size of your muscles, but the size of your resolve. As I said before, I have fallen down many times, and I mostly wanted to give up, to run away from my problems instead of facing them head on. Avoiding and isolating only makes the problem feel worse, and I have had a lot of work finding the people and skills to cope with my frustration and not having it blow up to the people who are trying to help me. And while I do apologize, and that's important, what really matters is the actions you take afterward. My last and favorite lesson comes from one of my favorite historical figures, Dwight D. Eisenhower. Learn as much as you can from those who know more than you, who do better than you, and who see more clearly than you. I have made a lot of personal growth, which I attribute to one decision of mine, but hundreds of decisions by others. My decision to listen. All of your decisions to share your experiences with me. I've wanted to get in better shape from seeing students work out and get more politically active for my classes with Mr. Terry, and get more connected with my personal self and God by talking to people about their religion and faith traditions. All this was done because of my choice to start listening to others, but it took your collective choice to start to share these experiences and wisdom with me. It wouldn't have been possible for me to change if I had stuck myself in a bubble and chose not to seek to understand the opinions and experiences of others. This is a journey that is not over for me, and I anticipate that I will be working on it for the rest of my life. So again, if you want to change the world, learn as much as you can from those who know more than you, who do better than you, and who see more clearly than you. Before I end, I would be remiss if I did not mention a few specific people that deserve special recognition. Ms. Skolsky, I know we've had our ups and downs, but when I reflect, I have always admired your loyalty and commitment to the Woodhall School. Most importantly, I owe you immense gratitude for never giving up on me and always working to prepare me for my future. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Mom and Dad, you guys are my heroes. I know I tell you all the time, but I am unbelievably grateful to have been given such loving, committed, and unconditional parents like you. You have both been my cheerleaders even when I didn't know it. You have both made extremely hard decisions to get me where I am today. Dad, talking to you is the highlight of my week. I know that you always tell me a story of when you were young and experienced the same thing that I did. Our trip to California is one of the best memories of my short life, and I anticipate that we will have many more adventures together. You have told me that leaving me crying when delivering me to Whetstone was one of the hardest things you have had to do, and it is now my time to give you your return on investment. Mom, you're the most hardworking woman I know, taking care of your children and all of your clients all at once. You have exemplified bravery and perseverance when everything seems to come falling down. Talking about new TV shows we're binging or watching new movies together, no matter the activity, I would do anything for you and Dad. Lastly, Ava, my sister. Seeing you continue to grow into a strong young woman has left me speechless. Throughout my childhood, we were both convinced we hated each other, but I always knew deep down that we cared for each other. Watching you evolve and get more happy by the day has been one of the greatest experiences of my life, and I am honored to call you my sister. To the seniors, congratulations. I wish you all the best in the next big step of your lives. Thank you to all the Woodhall staff and students for shaping me into the person I am today. I have compared Woodhall to shaping clay into a ball. The students come with bumps and bruises and holes, but over time, the school shapes them into being the best version of himself. I am the best version I can be, and that is thanks to this school. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, all three. Thank you. Great job. Another unique tradition at the Woodhall School started in 1984, the first commencement. And actually, for the first 23 years of the school's existence, we held commencement in the Congregational Church on the green because we didn't have a space here. But that very first year, if you've heard me say, we started in September with 5 students. Mrs. Woodhall, founding head of school, will correct me, but I think by the end of the year we had a total of 11 students. And so not all of them were graduating. And she thought, well, instead of just recognizing the seniors, why not recognize all the boys at Woodhall? We're such an intimate community. And sure enough, that tradition has continued to this day. So sit back and enjoy some stories about your sons and students. Although I don't believe he's ever worn a lederhosen or donned a beret, this international man of mystery brings his European sensibility to everything he does at Woodhall. His slim-cut jacket and pants, his embrace of reliable, efficient mass transportation, his belief in a socioeconomic system based on mutually beneficial trade policies, And not least of all, his considerable gifts as a French-inspired mime. Whether he's portraying a tech-addled student isolating with technology or performing the latest Eurovision disco dance moves in the halls of Tower Dorm. He's emerged as a conscientious student, a helpful and dependable student leader, and a loyal friend. We look forward to what he has to offer to our school community in his senior year. Leo Zellner. After 3 seasons on Woodhall Survivor, this courageous castaway has overcome many challenges on Phoenix Island. His 3rd and final season has been his strongest performance yet. He's proved an enthusiastic and respected team member in soccer, strength and conditioning, and lacrosse. He's a diligent student, and he is a committed and caring student leader, focusing on improving the community through personal responsibility and bringing his peers together in shared activities. While he didn't win the $1 million prize at the end of his run on Woodhall Survivor, he's earned something much more valuable. He leaves Phoenix Island a more mature, more confident, and more connected young man. We will miss him, and we wish him well on his next adventure. Jeff Probst couldn't make it here today, so I'd like to invite Varick Shaw to come forward so I can offer him my congratulations. This caffeine bandit has been known to source the finest coffee beans expertly ground in a rest stop off the New Jersey Turnpike and brew them in the most unusual machines and unexpected places on campus. He'd be willing to sell the last watch in his vast watch collection for the perfect cup of coffee. Always on the move, he assures me that coffee helps him focus, and he's at his best when he's moving, running for cross country, grappling on the mat, and cradling and checking on Phoenix Field. And then there's the cold water plunges. You're coming into your own as a gentleman of Woodhall. Have a fun summer, and here's to an injury-free senior year. Sammy Stratemeyer. He's a 4-year senior, but he's only participating in his 2nd graduation ceremony. You could say he's batting .500, which is excellent for baseball, except we haven't been playing baseball for the last 4 years. Contributing factors to his missed graduations include the fact that he's got the frustration tolerance of the Incredible Hulk, the social graces of the Kool-Aid guy, and the impulse control of the Tasmanian Devil. While he attends Mass and confession on a regular basis, his predilection for profanity pushes the piety of papal dispensation. After 4 years, has he done the most for Woodhall, or has he done Woodhall for the most? Yet, for all the memorable moments, some of which I've tried to forget but cannot, he is thankful for his Woodhall experience. You should just listen to him when he talks to prospective families giving tours. Phoenix wrestling and lacrosse and later on soccer was a source of pride for him, and he emerged as a highly capable and engaged student. Above all, he's realized growth and fulfillment in his relationships with peers and adult mentors. He's told me I have a standing invitation to visit him in Poughkeepsie next year, as long as it's at Marist and not at the Poughkeepsie police station, with which I'm already quite familiar. That's another story. Please, please put into practice what you've learned at Woodhall next year and beyond. And please keep in touch. Congratulations to Michael Durso. This mid-year boy quickly earned a reputation for delicate deflections and elegant excuses that were almost as intricate as his daily origami sculptures. Regardless, he's making important connections with peers and adult mentors, and all in all, he's settled into life at Woodhall, fueled by a steady diet of Hershey Kisses from my office. Apparently, though, the phrase, "please take only one," is open to interpretation. With his experience in technical theater for the spring play, he's going to pivot to soccer on Phoenix Field in September. We're grateful that you're part of Woodhull. Here's to Leo Simmons. This boy will proudly tell anyone who asks, or even if they don't ask, that he's the only 8th grader at Woodhull. While there is some historical precedent for enrolling an 8th grader at the school, I'm happy that we made an exception to the rule this year. He's jumped right into things this winter term with his participation in wrestling, and he displayed a new talent for acting this spring as Shelley Capone. His performance was so entertaining and convincing that I've granted him permission to move around campus on a rolling desk chair, without the wig. This sailor has begun to right the ship, and we're looking forward to his first full year at the Port of Woodhull. Sailor Abramson. Although this mid-year student is not actually a pink puffball-like creature with the ability to inhale enemies and copy their abilities, he's still our resident Kirby. He clearly has high standards as a gamer, though, because he recently rejected my generous offer to have unlimited 24/7 access to gaming, except he could only play on an Atari 2600 console from 1981. Although he wanted to hit Control-Alt-Delete when he first arrived at Woodhull, he's begun to find his footing in daily school life, sharing his unique humor and perspective with students and teachers alike. I promise to visit you at Oxford this summer, and we will welcome you back in September. Alex Min. He's the only boy who wore a collared shirt to Heads Day. As you ask me, he's one of the best dressed students on campus. Given his sartorial choices, he's regularly donning the similar preppy pastels of this head of school. He's ready to pivot to formal dinner and a trip to the Masters on a moment's notice. From the get-go, he's enthusiastically embraced every aspect of life at Woodhull. He was one of the few 9th graders to give tours this year, and he went from stage manager to actor in the winter play, and he discovered a new passion in lacrosse. He's made good friends, and if his performance in Woodhull Vision's Careless Noonan is any indication, he's particularly fond of his teachers, too. Represent the Phoenix with pride in Chicagoland this summer, and get ready for your sophomore year. Gray Berkey. This 10th grader from Boston has truly come into his own this year. He's emerged as a focused competitor in soccer and lacrosse and, of course, basketball, and most recently in chess when he beat Mr. Funsak, which doesn't happen that often in chess. His own skills as a player are only matched by his fierceness as a Celtics fan, despite what the Knicks-loving Zach Meisner says. Outside of athletics, he's building lasting relationships and developing self-advocacy skills that will lead him to help others. I'm looking forward to hearing more of his voice and seeing more of his winsome smile in the fall. Congratulations on a productive first year at Woodhull. Will Lawson. When this student did a backflip in the Gaga pit the second day of school, I knew he'd be delivering some daring do on Phoenix Field in soccer and lax and in the gym in basketball. And delivered he did. He's known for keeping his head down and doing what he needs to do in most areas of school life. At the same time, he's been an avid school forum and committee for accountability participant. And for next year, I'm encouraging him to share his culinary talents on the grill with Miss Skulski. You are a welcome addition to the Woodhull community, and I know you will achieve your goals for your senior year. Brian Fogarty. This 11th grader from North Carolina fancies himself the on-campus GC when it comes to anything with plumbing, electric, HVAC, and carpentry. When he's not giving estimates on the latest capital or maintenance project on campus, he can be found by the pond fishing. And when he's not fishing, his online interest in researching boats is only matched by his roommate's interest in researching cars. He's learned to meet the expectations of community life, and he's developed some insights, and he's making tangible project. Jack, before you leave this summer, I'm wondering if you can help me fix some of the lampposts on the driveway. Here's to Jack Young. You know that thing Hayden does when he talks at you for 10 minutes straight about cars? Apparently, he can do the same thing as an actor whose character is talking about all the jobs he's had, and he can get a Halo Award for it. Yes, he's found his calling on the stage in the winter and spring plays, and he's learned how to be part of an ensemble with his peers. Who knows, Hayden, if you really have a good senior year, maybe you'll get a vintage Toyota Hilux pickup truck for a high school graduation gift, just like Marty McFly. Congratulations on a growth-filled second year at Woodhall. Hayden Geisschecker. In his third year at Woodhall, this junior played many roles this school year. The beleaguered brother in Grief in Grizzly Bears, a trench-coated hard-boiled detective in The Parrot Who Met Papa, a coconut-clacking squire from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and a co-starring role in Weekend at Skolsky's, just to name a few roles. He's also took on the role of a student leader helping out in the dining hall and tower dorm and mentoring students even if they didn't make it at Woodhall, like the gaslighting ninth grader from North Carolina, or his wilderness buddy who took a wrong turn, or even the ninth grader in November who became Sir not appearing in this film. He's also played the role of dedicated AP student, trusted and steadfast friend, and a community member who always shows his fealty to the school with his wonderfully warped sense of humor. Jay, here's to seeing you at Golden Gate Park this August for the 60th anniversary of the Grateful Dead. That's probably not going to happen, but have a good summer anyway. I have a feeling your senior year is going to be a lot of fun. Jay Medeiros.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Another third-year junior, this young man is known as the reigning quiz ball champion, even though he is frequently nerfed. He's also known for monologuing on abstruse facts and not so far-fetched conspiracy theories, including that the head of school misappropriated school funds in a quasi-Citizens United move that potentially violated campaign financing and lobbying laws. But after all, 501c3 corporations are legal citizens. Lastly, he is known as a dramatically fierce competitor. For example, in Latin class, Jay Medeiros is the Javert to his Jean Valjean, so I guess that makes Mr. Spaulding Cosette. Maybe in your senior year, Huck, it will finally be the year when you hear the people singing a song of angry men, when the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums. There's a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Viva la France and viva Huck Novotny. Woodhall prides itself on the culture of close student-teacher relationships, but after this senior rewrote and performed, along with Gray Berkey, a version of George Michael's Careless Whisper, the aforementioned Careless Nooning, I'm starting to rethink the idea of student-teacher relations at Woodhall. That being said, performing and participating in theater at Woodhall is where this young man discovered competency and connection, as evidenced by his two standout performances in the winter and spring plays. With an interest eventually in joining the military at some point, he may not be acting on the theatrical stage again anytime soon. But Jacob, whatever you do, remember the words of Oscar Wilde. All the world's a stage, but the play is badly cast. Keep growing and you will find your community. Congratulations on your Woodhall career, Jacob Ekman. Although he had a bit of initial stage fright when he came to Woodhall, this first-year Colorado kid made a successful transition to life at Woodhall. Indeed, it was on the actual stage this past winter as a helpful and earnest park ranger in Grief and Grizzly Bears that he started to come into his own. Or maybe it was his Halloween avatar as Deadpool, or maybe it's his upcoming gig with Alex Min as the voice actor for the next installment of Mufasa, the Lion King. Actually, he doesn't have to play a role or pretend someone he's not. At Woodhall, he's gotten the message from peers and adult mentors that he can be his authentic self and no one will tell him he's doing it wrong. Here's to your successful first year, Luke Drescher. This young man recently earned the title of the fastest Woodhall community member, which would explain how he can quickly pivot from prank to prank or reel from ruckus to roughhousing and back again. Midnight trash can sculptures in tower, playing bumper cars with Bruno on door frames, indoor snowball fights, ping pong balls on the pool table, and of course, pizza slices on the roof. At the same time, he was at his best when he was moving and made significant contributions to Phoenix soccer, wrestling, and lacrosse. He is indeed possessed with much kinetic, intellectual, and social emotional potential. We shall see what the future brings. Louis Fratarola. We've had other brothers attend Woodhall, but never at the same time. An important chapter in the school's history will pass now that the brothers Montgomery are leaving. With Henry's departure in particular, the dining hall is getting about 24 new butter knives and an indeterminate number of oatmeal packets. I never knew you could eat oatmeal with a butter knife. In addition to purloining utensils for which he is forgiven, Henry can be seen scurrying up trees and dorm walls and taking mystery hikes and bike rides. But what's no mystery is the growth that he's made and the friendships that he's formed during his 2 years at Woodhall. We will miss his pragmatism and quick wit. Send us a postcard from Spartanburg, South Carolina this summer, and then Arden, North Carolina in the fall. Congratulations to Henry Montgomery. After 2 years of intense lobbying with the Board of Trustees, this 10th grader from Greenwich is giving up on his dream to turn the Woodhall School campus into a par 3 9-hole golf course. He, of course, would have been golf pro, and he had planned to employ the Montgomery brothers as caddies. Mike would have been in charge of greens maintenances, Lewis would be clubhouse manager, and Theo would be in charge of music and entertainment at the clubhouse. With this departure, I will have to rely on another student to help the boys tie their ties during formal dinner. Indeed, our school will be a little less vineyard vinesy without him. Yet he leaves Woodhall a more responsible, more self-assured, and happier young man. Good luck at Millbrook Golf and Tennis Club, and keep in touch. Abbott Cooper. The Woodhall School has already begun to alter the actions and aspirations for this freshman from Fairfield County. He's learned how to make gallons of freshly squeezed orange juice for his roommate. He's surpassed Mike and Theo in terms of the number of times he asked for Hershey Kisses from my office. And this summer, he hopes to become a DoorDash driver, but he can only dream of having hair as majestic as Mr. Terry's. He's learned a thing or two about community living, making friends, and personal accountability. Here's to his second year and even more growth, progress, and fun. Rylan Sanders. This tall Texan arrived mid-year and initially presented as a well-mannered and rather quiet young man. But with his increased comfort in the community came an increase in colorful language, especially when playing Fortnite with Reeve. He's a stalwart member of basketball and lacrosse, and he's emerged as a diligent and conscientious student. We're looking forward to welcoming him back for his first full year at Woodhall. Let's hear it for Dare Willerson. After arriving in January, this 10th grader from the Garden State has already proposed 2 trips to MetLife Stadium next year, and Ms. Skolsky has approved them. First, there's the Jets versus Cowboy game on October 5th, and then the yet-to-be-announced spring 2026 date for Kendrick Lamar's concert at MetLife Stadium. This boy is a multi-generational fan of Jets, and it's only matched for his passion for hip-hop. In fact, in a few short months, he's already applied the wit and wisdom of one of his favorite rappers, MF Doom, to the 4 pillars of the Woodhall School. And I quote MF Doom on academics: "Study your history, whoever don't, I pity the fool like Mr. T." On residential life, there's 4 sides to every story. If these walls could talk, they'd probably still ignore me. On athletics, or even a stroke, heart attack, heart disease, it ain't no starting back once arteries start to squeeze. And MF Doom on communications: "I can stop anytime I want to. Famous last words that came back to haunt you." Chase, I promise to actually listen to MF Doom this summer. By the time I see you in September, congrats to Chase Frauworth. This year, Owen has grown in more ways than just his height. His remote control vehicles, the cars, the boats, and the planes have stayed outside and away from tower dorm bathrooms for the most part. And while he still ends up crashing most of them beyond the repair, the elf on the shelf has not made an appearance this year. Perhaps that's because Owen's relying less on extrinsic rewards and punishments and more on intrinsic motivation, an indication perhaps of his burgeoning maturity, self-awareness, and insight. This year, he's also turned from Chick-fil-A to Popeyes as his preferred fast food chicken, but I can't think of an analogy with that and his personal development. So enjoy your travels this summer, especially in the airports, and get ready for your junior year, Owen Valema. When this student from Michigan arrived on campus for his second year, he had a decidedly different haircut style, and he became Woodhall's very own 8 Mile. In reality, he's not trying to be like anybody except himself. His workouts in the gym are only a reflection, reflection of his self-improvement. As a student leader, he's learned to speak for himself and others. He's dogged in his determination with his studies, and he's a steadfast and friendly force in the community, culminating in his heroic athleticism and sportsmanship as the lacrosse goalie this spring. Stay focused and true to yourself in all ways this summer as you prepare for your senior year. Wes Iyer. For the most part, this boy's traded in Pokemon for working out in the gym, and while he still engages in some Dennis the Menace-like mischief in the study hall and elsewhere, he's working earnestly to develop his skills of self-reflection and self-expression with accountability. And making it all the way to New England Prep School Wrestling Championships demonstrates the kind of productivity and positivity that he is capable of. I'm hopeful that his senior year will be his strongest year yet at Woodhall. Have fun touring Europe this summer, but please make some time to help me out in the campus gardens too. Jacob Gottfried. During his 2 years at Woodhall, this senior from Seattle has developed his own unique style and fashion sense, culminating in a self-parodying cologne ad in the art house-inspired Woodhall Week film from the advisory groups of Mr. G, Senor Booth, and Miss Mokrisky Schley. He's taken some time off before heading to college and wants to pursue a career in fashion. So I thought I'd offer some reflections from some famous fashion designers on this your graduation day. From Coco Chanel, in order to be irreplaceable, one always must be different. Ralph Lauren tells us, fashion is not about labels, it's not about brands, it's something else that comes from within you. And then lastly, from Vera Wang, success isn't about the end result, it's about what you learn along the way. Congratulations to Will Comer. Sorry, my glasses, I think I cleaned them with salami. They're really, anyway. Do you have a tissue? Anyway. When this student returned from his visit to Dublin School, the school where he's going next year, he told me he met the head of school at Dublin, with whom I am friendly. He said, yeah, Mr. Woodhall, he's a lot different than you. How so? I asked, to which he replied, he's a lot more professional. Maybe the student got this impression when I burst into his dorm room the day before the winter term awards, where he received multiple recognitions for his achievement and engagement, and I told him, I know what award you're getting tomorrow, least improved. The opposite, which is of course is most true. This young man has made significant improvements and contributions to the community as a student, athlete, and community leader. I will miss his infectious good humor, warm and caring spirit, and his occasional tropical shirt. Congratulations and best of luck to Grayson DeCourcy. Thanks, Sue. Oh, it's from Paul. Oh, thank you, Mr. Noonan. Careless Noonan, okay. This senior went from vegetarian to bacontarian to cheesetarian, which I don't really think is a thing. But he has a knack for making outrageous proclamations with strong conviction, and then he relents, acknowledging that he's kind of full of it. Maybe with his changing diets, though, he's changed how he engaged in the community this year. He's been more reflective, more reciprocal, and more responsible. As with all of our students, he's still maturing, but he can speak with gratitude and insight as to how Woodhall has helped him. He is a bright, talented student, ready for the challenges of Rochester Institute of Technology next year. Thank you for 2 memorable years, and put into practice what you've learned and experienced at Woodhall. Paul Belat.
Vive la Ralph!
Hey, geez, when it comes to sports, whether Zach Meisner is playing soccer, basketball, or lacrosse, or if he's rooting for the Knicks, he's kind of quiet and unassuming, said no one ever. Yes, Zach makes his presence known in all of his endeavors, and while it took him a while to adjust to life at Woodhall, he's made some good friends, formed connections with adult mentors, and made progress in his studies, and has enjoyed some peaceful moments fishing by the pond, and maybe, just maybe, had a little fun this year. By the way, Zach, Mr. Langdon wanted to let you know that you'll get a pass on all homework in his class next year if you start rooting for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And also, Will Lawson wanted me to tell you that 2026 is the Celtics' year. Yeah. Get ready for that and an even more productive and positive second year. Zach Meisner. This young man is my favorite French-speaking student from Florida. He's actually only French-speaking student from Florida, but no matter, he's also the student I trust the most with power equipment on campus. He's never met a lawnmower, brush hog, or leaf blower that he didn't like. And of course, when he's working outside, he likes to have his earbuds on. Now, if he could only take them out when he's in class. He's had a first year marked by improved study skills, increased accountability, and new friendships. Bon voyage, and I look forward to repeating the only 5 French phrases that I know to you again in September. Bruno Dessereau. Last year, when I walked into the study hall with bright green cords and a white button-down shirt, this student told me I looked like Peter Griffin, to which I take great offense. After all, Peter Griffin is from Rhode Island, and I'm from Connecticut. Speaking of fictional characters, some community members are aware that there is a 13th student living in French Hall. His name is Ralph Zelat. And whenever mischief or mayhem is to be had, Zelat is there. I myself have enjoyed following Ralph Zelat on his social media. It turns out that Ralph is good friends with Britton Thomas, and he's been posting all these stories about how Britton has had 3 growth-filled years at Woodhall and how he's going to miss his quirky sense of humor, especially when he gives that impish smirk and playful glint in his eyes when he's about to do or say something he knows he shouldn't. I understand Ralph Zelat is heading to Burlington, Vermont with Britton this summer, so maybe I'll get to meet him in person when I visit Mansfield Hall in November. In the meantime, I'd like to say thank you and congratulations to Charles Britton Thomas.
I know Mr. Noonan will like it when I say this, but hats off to you.
Just when the student feels like he's going to crash out, he likes to kick back, relax, and listen to Megadeth, Metallica, or Pantera. With regards to music tastes among community members, his rabid passion for eardrum-splitting metal is only matched by Mr. Ing's deep, abiding love of yacht rock. Long and lanky in his build and in his hair, this student is not one to blend into the background. Quick with a joke or a gesture that pushes the limits of taste and patience, he is nonetheless a fun-loving community member, grateful for the close friendships that he has formed with his peers and for the understanding and care he's received from adult mentors, except when his head of school refuses to let him grab 11 Hershey Kisses at once, to which he responded with loud, dramatic protestations, "Mr. Woodhall, you're dead to me." But I know that's just Theo's love language. We're very happy you're returning for your senior year. Just don't overdo it with the gaming this summer. Theo Graff. What's another word for thesaurus? Glossary, lexicon, onomasticon. What's another word for a thoughtful student leader who strives to improve the community? What's another word for a gifted musician who's also discovered his talent for acting? What's another word for a young man who's been patient and loyal when his friends are struggling? What's another word for somebody who's grown into a more comfortable and confident young man during his 2 years at Woodhall? What's another word for a student who's learned to step out of his comfort zone and accept academic and intellectual challenge, which will no doubt serve him well at Union College next year? There's not another word, but there is a name, and it's Isaac Dinges. Sure, time is a different object for this senior from South Carolina. Yes, he has a tendency to get lost in the bathroom, and he never met a door that he liked. Yet, among his peers, both new and returning, he is a beloved member of our community. Sure, as with all of us, he has things he needs to work on, but students and adult mentors alike have celebrated his kindness, thoughtfulness, determination, and humor. He's most appreciative for Woodhall, a place that allowed him to be himself. And he's not embarrassed to say he's going to miss us, and he's not afraid to say he's worried about leaving in the subsequent transition. But I promise you, Walter, Woodhall will stay with you, and not just when I visit you in Burlington next summer. You're one of a kind, and we're grateful that you and your brother are part of the Brotherhood of Woodhall. Congratulations to Walter Montgomery. Hands down, this mid-year boy from Brooklyn had the coolest dog at Spring Family Weekend. In fact, I'm thinking of ditching the Phoenix and making this Irish Wolfhound the new Woodhall mascot. But he didn't need a cool dog to fit in. He loves Woodhall's structure, and he's connected readily with the other boys and teachers. Although I've never seen a student prop up his feet so high on a study hall, Carol, as he does. You're just getting started with your Woodhall career, and I anticipate continued progress and more success next year. Henry Dirks. This junior from Miami figured out the secret to a successful first year at Woodhall. After repeated ready, fire, aim moments whenever he spoke earlier on in the school year, he finally figured out how to get his foot out of his own mouth. He's certainly more settled, thoughtful, and engaged, and he now enjoys the camaraderie of peers and shared activities like Magic the Gathering. Recently, I suggested to him he should create his own version of the game called Melnick the Gathering, but that might be an example of when I should have kept my mouth shut. We're happy that you found us, and we're eager to support you and challenge you in your senior year. Benji Melnick. An officer from the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Production came to campus recently. At first, I thought she was going to confront me about the school's clandestine stocking of the pond, but apparently the Connecticut DEEP has received credible reports that one of our students has been attempting to transport ants on campus across state lines. Our resident myrmecologist has an encyclopedic knowledge of ants, including their complex social structures, communication methods, and interactions with their environment. An ant colony, I guess, is kind of like a boarding school. This student admires the ants' feats of engineering and industry as well. Now, if only he used some of that ant-like industry to complete his homework rather than avoid it. No matter, what's more important, this first-year boy has learned to put down his VR goggles and engage in the community through cross-country, wrestling, and then theater, and connect with his peers. The first year at Woodhall is always the hardest, so I know the greatest rewards of his Woodhall experience lay ahead of him. Max Musler. Senior Booth gave me permission to tell this story, by the way, lest you think I'm mean. Here's another example of why I need to rethink promoting the close student-teacher relationships at Woodhall. Recently, Senior Booth was chirping the student about his tendency to eat the same thing in the dining hall day after day. He asked the boy, "Don't you want to branch out and try all the different foods out there?" To which the boy said, "No, but clearly you do." All the ribbing, ragging, and raising aside, this 10th grader has made friends this year and has developed a rapport and, above all, trust with teachers. For so many boys at Woodhall, this was not the reality of their school experience before Woodhall. It's been a joy to see his smile and hear his laughter more and more as the school year progressed. We look forward to your return in September, and Senior Booth does most of all. Congratulations on a promising first year, Reeve Meany. So I want to take a moment and recognize the faculty and the staff and the alumni, and actually some alumni adult mentors. So let's start with alumni. If you're an alumnus, if you could stand up so I can see you. Oh, you're going to get a shout out. Wait. I was going to mention you by name. We got Henry Lippman, we got Kyle Stickler, we got Jason Barrett, we got Charlie Gortel, we got Aiden McKee, we've got Hayes, we've got Gabriel, and that's it. What? Oh, Kyle Ellis outside. So welcome back, gentlemen. So great to see you. So great to see you. And then actually, I am pleased that we have 3 alumni faculty members, Mr. McGann, Mr. Marcinek, and Mr. Mahoney. Welcome back. I'd also like to welcome and recognize the Board of Trustees that are here. Sue Moline, our board chair. We've got Gabby Flanagan. We've got Kate Herlock and Stephen Thomas as well. Welcome. And I want you to hold your applause. I'm going to read every single name of every single adult mentor, faculty, and staff here at the Woodhall School for everything that they do for the gentlemen of Woodhall day in and day out. Sasha Skulski, Jared Booth, Alex Kavakis, Kimie Corwin, Tim Coughlin, Simon Cully, Ed Gelthizer, Connor Langdon, Jonathan Leroy, Orla Mokrisky-Schley, David Ing, Paul Noonan, Tal Peroff, Tashi Funsak, Richard Spalding, Aaron Terry, Melanie Walker, Joanne Cares, Jamie Gray, Bill Kima, John Lago, Kathy Maloney, Melissa McCullough, Marissa Rosa, Gina Rybinski, Leah Shrepke, Molly Talbot, Anita Manasalva Jung, and Greta Gemma. Thank you all. I'd like Mr. Coughlin and Mr. Funsak to present the Academic Book Awards.
So we're starting with the academic excellence in mathematics and science, and the book award is presented to Isaac Metron Dinges.
The award for academic excellence in the humanities goes to Wilfred Benjamin Comer. And the award for academic excellence in world languages goes to Walter Scott Montgomery V. Congrats, sir. Thank you.
And I'd like to invite Ms. Skulski to come forward and present the first of the plaque awards, the Phoenix Award.
The Phoenix Award is given to that student who manifests strong school spirit and commitment to helping others. This student has made significant progress in many areas during their time at Woodhall. His presence is felt in all four pillars of the school: academics, arts and athletics, residential life, and communications. He is an excellent student who has significantly improved in his advocacy and communication skills. As a student leader, he helped new students feel more settled, encouraged others to push themselves outside their comfort zones, and confronted peers about hurtful decisions. This student also modeled making himself appropriately vulnerable and has taken accountability when he made mistakes. This young man played on several sports teams at Woodhall and performed in a theatrical production. You can also find him dancing with friends at various consortium events. He approaches most situations without judgment and possesses a strong desire to support others. It is evident that this student cares deeply about the community and his peers. We emphasize modeling with student leaders, and this person This person models confrontations, accountability, humor, and accepting redirection. He provides measured feedback and leads with honesty. Everyone enjoys it when he dances or says, sorry, in a Canadian accent. If you want one last smile before departing for the summer, ask him to act out isolating with technology. It's my distinct honor to present the Phoenix Award to Leopold Peter Zellner.
Wow, standing O on the first plaque award. Where do we go from there? We actually have two recipients this year for the Communications Award, and Ms. Skulski, if you could come back up and present the first recipient.
The Communication Award is given to that student who has achieved significant growth in skills of self-reflection and self-expression with accountability. This student had a rocky start at Woodhull and did not always value accountability. On move-in day last year, he hid his laptop in his room and then denied doing so. Throughout that year, he continued to make unproductive choices until one evening he came forward and asked for help. He then took proper accountability for many of his actions. Over the summer, the effort he put into communicating with an open mind was bolstered by working with young children. When he returned from summer break, there was an increased understanding of responsibility and thoughtfulness in his conversations with others. Everyone could feel the pride and maturity he exhibited when discussing the work. He understood that word choice, tone, intention, and impact mattered. After these experiences, the student has engaged productively in confrontations, asked for help from peers, and attempted to model appropriate behavior and vulnerability. He has also exhibited a greater ability and willingness to accurately self-reflect on his behaviors, hone his humor, and takes redirection better. When something goes wrong, he calmly expresses his opinion and is open to hearing the perspective of others. We talked about engaging in conversations without an agenda and trying to come to an understanding with the other person. Although this can be difficult, it is evident that this young man attempts to do this when he communicates by articulating how he is feeling and clearly stating what he needs to move forward in various social dynamics. In addition, his peers have identified him as the best tour guide for younger students because of his ability to engage with them and help them feel comfortable. It is my distinct honor to present the Communications Award to Paul Robert Belat.
When the second recipient of the Communications Award arrived in his freshman year, he was rigid in his thinking and frustrated in his expression. As with many Woodhull boys, he had fragile self-esteem, anxiety, and he struggled to deal with setbacks. Yet even in his first and most difficult year, he was open to engaging in the communications program earnestly, particularly in the Committee for Accountability. In his second year, he strengthened his friendships and relationships with adult mentors, and he learned that playing is the thing. That is, he learned to connect with others through athletics and shared interests and activities. This year, he developed an increased self-awareness, and he's developed a realistic sense of his strengths and weaknesses. When he became a student leader, he focused on bringing his peers together, and most importantly, he modeled the process of self-reflection and self-expression with accountability in his own words and in his own actions. While his journey is far from over, he has made exceptional growth and progress. It is with admiration that I present the Communications Award to Varick Javier Shaw. And Mr. Funstock, if you come forward and give the Sportsmanship Award.
Thank you. Carl G. Seifried Jr. Award for Sportsmanship is named in honor of Dr. Carl G. Seifried Jr., who served as a science teacher, a dean of faculty, Director of Athletics from 2002 until his retirement in 2014. This award recognizes the students who has embodied the value of Phoenix athletics, sportsmanship, teamwork, dedication, and gentlemanly behavior in athletics. The recipient of this year's Carl G. Seafried Jr. Award for Sportsmanship is a young man who arrived at Woodhull in the fall of 2023. Initially apprehensive about competitive sports, team sports, he joined Outdoor Challenge in fall and strength and condition in the winter. His outstanding performance in the strength and condition earned him the Coach's Award. Bolstered by newfound success and confidence, he embraced the lacrosse during the spring term last year. As a novice player, he tackled the challenge of learning the rules and mastering the basic skills with determination. Assigned to the defensive position, he demonstrated a commendable dedication, making a noticeable improvement throughout the season. His diligence, teamwork, and respectful demeanor earned him the Coach's Award for the lacrosse that season. This year, he participated in 3 competitive sports: soccer, wrestling, and lacrosse. In soccer, he played as a fullback on defense for the entire season. The soccer head coach, Mr. Curley, praised him, noting that his greatest strength is his coachability. He listened attentively to coaches' feedback and diligently follows through. In winter, he joined wrestling team, contributing to the Woodhull's most successful season. Competing in the 138 and 150-pound weight classes, he showcased sportsmanship, teamwork, diligence, with coaches noting a significant improvement in each match. In lacrosse, building on the last season's progress, he took on the challenges of the role of the goalkeeper, a position of great responsibility. He dedicated extra time before and after practice to hone his skills. Coaches recognize his growth, resilience, and exemplary sportsmanship in both spirit and action, earning him the defensive most valuable player of the season. And this award celebrates his dedication, tenacity, growth, resilience, and outstanding sportsmanship. It is my pleasure to present the Dr. Carl G. C. Jr.'s Award for Sportsmanship to Wesley Charles Ayer.
The Abigail J. Woodhull Award for Excellence in the Arts is named in memory of Miss Abigail J. Woodhull, who served as an arts and humanities teacher and administrator from 1993 until her untimely death in 2005. This award is presented to that student whose interest and accomplishments in the arts, whether visual, performing, or literary, has enriched his own life as well as the lives of others in the school community. 3 years ago, this young man arrived at Woodhull shy and withdrawn. Consumed creatively by his own interests and hobbies, he wasn't fully able to connect with others or advocate for himself. Possessed with a keen and quirky sense of humor, he was never performative, but he was always observing, processing, and creating. It was mentioned he was one of the founding members of STEM Technical Theater, and he consistently used his articulated aesthetic sense and exceptional visual spatial intelligence in his collaborations with others in set design and construction. He helped grow STEM Tech into a dynamic team which was constantly learning and developing new skills. And over the last 3 seasons, he's received 5 Halo nominations for his work. Within our community, he also received attention and adulation for his visually striking and sly posters for the school plays. In the studio art program, he proved an assiduous and original visual artist. A 3-year member of the Creative Writing Club and frequent contributor to Good Stuff, the school's arts and literary magazine, he channeled his talent with the pen to create penetrating poetry and prose. Through what are considered more solitary creative pursuits, writing, painting, drawing, and design, he learned to share his voice and vision with others. Through his artistic expression, he ultimately connected with others and developed a stronger sense of self. I am pleased to present the Abigail J. Woodhull Award for Excellence in the Arts to Charles Britton Thomas. The Kenneth E. Chant Award for Significant Progress is named in honor of Mr. Kenneth Chant, who served as a mathematics teacher and administrator from the school's founding in 1983 until his retirement in 2005. The award recognizes that student who has improved in all areas of personal and academic growth. When he was elevated, he was rigid, reactive, and rancorous. In his resting state, he was disgruntled, disconnected, and detached from those around him. Time and time again, he struggled to relate to and respect the perspective of others. The more he argued, the more he pushed others away, family, peers, and adult mentors. And the more he isolated with technology, he descended into solipsistic brooding. When reflecting on his previous relational dynamic, he is now the first to acknowledge that he was given multiple chances, for which he is most grateful, and any other school would have kicked him out. And yet, Woodhull did not give up on him, even when he wanted to give up. Yes, we confronted him, held him accountable, but we also affirmed his intellectual acumen, his innate sensitivity, and his desire to connect with others, and his moments of laughter and joy. Through acting, he discovered competency, connection, and confidence. He became more open to feedback, more self-aware, and embraced a new resolve to improve and to help others. He still misreads and missteps, but he is more resilient, understanding that his future success lies in his capacity to deal with setbacks. I am proud to present this year's Kenneth E. Chant Award for Significant Progress to Jacob Dylan Ekman. Mr. Coughlin, if you could come forward and present the Dorothy Peirce Award for Significant Academic Excellence.
The Dorothy L. Peirce Award for Significant Academic Achievement is named in memory of Mrs. Dorothy Peirce, who served as an English teacher and assistant head of school from 1992 to 1997. The award is given to that student who not only has demonstrated a high level of academic achievement, but has also developed a genuine intellectual curiosity. For this year's award winner, there is a common adage that is used in sports. The best ability is availability. The origins of that quote are up for debate. Some attribute it to legendary coach Bill Parcells and popularized by his protege Bill Belichick. Others are not so sure. As a Bills fan myself, I hate both of those people, so it's tough for me to say. But no matter who said it first, its meaning is clear and incredibly important. In sports, the phrase reminds us that being talented is not enough. A player can have all the skill in the world, but if they are not consistently present due to injury, to attitude, inability to prioritize, a lack of commitment, or some other impediment, be it physical or mental, they are not someone on whom a coach or a team can count. The same principle holds true in the classroom. This year's award winner exemplifies that idea. Over the course of his academic career at Woodhull, this year's award winner has made availability, through presence, perseverance, and persistence, a defining trait. Yes, like anyone, there were times he was not feeling 100%, struggled to make the right decisions, or felt like taking the easy route out. But even then, he made it to class. He worked through discomfort, and even when he was not present physically, he stayed engaged academically, never using absence as an excuse to fall behind. When others might look for a way out, he has constantly found reasons to press on. As any of his teachers would happily testify to, this year's winner reliability turns in all his work. And keep in mind, we have 6-day-a-week classes. He's been here for 4 years, homework for every assignment. So that's, if my math is not wrong, 3,600 assignments. And though I cannot verify the fact that he's not missed one assignment over his years at Woodhull, I feel confident in claiming that number is closer to 0 than it is to 10. Perhaps what stands out most about this dedication in particular is that he's not only grown stronger this year, his senior year, when many students here and around the country are infected with a well-known condition of senioritis, but not him. He has passed his constitution checks and fought it off with a quiet determination. In fact, unlike many seniors, he's actually saved his best academic grades for his final year. Even following his college acceptance, he did not choose to slack off. While some were coasting towards the finish line, he dug in, completing his final projects, presentations, and essays and exams, sometimes begrudgingly, all right, but always with integrity and follow through. I've had the privilege of watching this person's growth from the start of his time here at Woodhall. He entered Woodhall the same year I did. He was, once upon a time, one of my advisees before becoming a mentee of Mr. Ng. This past year has had its challenges, no doubt. By the end of that first year, however, I had the honor of giving him his first award, Effort in English, not but 4 years ago, almost to this day, when he played a passionate lawyer for the Montague family in our Romeo and Juliet mock trial in front of Judge Danner. I will still remember the many times he revised his work based on my endless and constant feedback, again, perhaps a bit grudgingly, but always earnestly. The road since has had its fair share of travails as well, but he's navigated these challenges, he rose to meet those obstacles, and through them, he grew in every way manageable. Though, let's be honest, his height may have been the most obvious transformation. Since then, he has earned the Dean's List honors, tackled rigorous AP courses, and was even selected to speak at graduation. As he prepares to move on from Woodhall, I could not be prouder to stand here and present him with this award, a bookend to the one that I gave him 4 years ago, not realizing at the time that it was prophetic foreshadowing to this very moment. His reliability, perseverance, and commitment to growth has nothing been short of inspiring. So, Michael Anthony Durso, congratulations and best of luck to you as you head off to Poughkeepsie and begin your next chapter at Marist College and also beyond, and for a reference that you and a handful of others will get, to wherever you may roam, wherever you may lay down your head as home. Congratulations.
Thanks, Tim.
Yep.
The Heads Award, the school's highest honor, is given to that student who has endeavored to demonstrate respect, compassion, and integrity in all areas of school life. The student will have achieved success through self-reflection and have displayed growth in understanding of his own learning during his time at the Woodhall School. The recipient of this year's Heads Award was very much stuck in his own head when he arrived to campus 2 years ago. By communicating with esoteric syntax and abstruse vocabulary, he could at once attract attention and keep others at a distance. Initially, he was avoidant and unaccountable, but with a Bartleby the Scrivener politeness. Yet, through the school's relationship-based approach, he learned about friendship, to make a friend and to be a friend, and to trust key adult mentors and to be a trusted student. Within our community, he earned a reputation as a kind, gentle, and thoughtful young man. In his own quiet way, he was helping those who were struggling, and he reflected on and deliberated on how to improve the school culture. He emerged as a dedicated runner and a dynamic actor and musician, and over time, he became a kind, gentle, and thoughtful student leader. For a student who was known for his peculiar parlance in person and on the page, he became known for something else, as someone who not only talks the talk, but walks the talk while staying true to his authentic self. Above all, he realized tangible success in all his endeavors and earned genuine respect in his relationships through diligence, determination, and decency. In other words, he became a gentleman of Woodhall. In recognition for his personal growth and with gratitude for his contributions to our school community, I present the Heads Award to Isaac Merton Dinges. Please rise and join me in singing Amazing Grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the Thank you. You ready, boys? Well, if I could have Sue Moline, board chair, help me present the diplomas to the class of 2025. Paul Robert Belat. Remember, stay up later.
I'll have to stay up.
You got to stay up. Wilfred Benjamin Comer. Michael Anthony Durso, Jr.
Hi, Mom!
Isaac Merton Dinges. Jacob Dylan Ekman. Walter Scott Montgomery V. Charles Britton Thomas. Ladies and gentlemen, the Woodhall School class of 2025. Good boys, go back now. Thanks. So one last tradition before we end the ceremony. I invite anyone gathered to come up and say a few words of reflection.
Thank you for everything. I want to thank my parents, my family. I want to thank God, Jesus. I want to thank everyone for making my life possible. My time here has been amazing, and I just want to thank everyone for making it a reality. I love y'all so much, every one of you in this room. Thank you.
I would like to say some thanks. First of all, thank you to Mr. Noonan, my advisor. I will love you forever, Unc. Thank you to Miss Skolsky and the rest of the staff for all the chances you guys have given me. Thank you to my family, Claire, Natalie, Daniel, Mom and Dad. You guys have been a really big help. So thank you for that. And yeah.
I'm Jeff Ekman. I'm Jacob Ekman's dad. 6 weeks ago, sat down with Ms. Skolsky and had a quick conversation. I had really a question. And I just really wanted to know, is this actually going to happen? Is Jacob going to graduate? And Ms. Skolsky, you said yes. Jacob is going to graduate. I was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. And here it's happened. So thank you. Thank you, Ms. Golsky. Thank you, Mr. Woodhall. Thank you, Mr. Cully, Mr. Terry, Mr. Funstock, and everybody at the Woodhall School. It's been an amazing experience. A few days ago, I wrote this down. Dear Jacob, in 3 days, you'll be graduating from high school. You will have completed a journey that began in some ways at your birth. And when you entered preschool and kindergarten at the Wellington School, and like your graduation from Wellington, your K through 4 school, this day marks a moment to appreciate all the work, experience, care, challenges, and the efforts made by you and those around you to learn and to grow and to live life to the fullest. On your graduation day, we celebrate you and the wonderful people in your life who love you, who supported you every step of the way. And in celebrating you, we celebrate how you have embraced that support in all the different ways, different settings, at different ages, at different stages of development. You've always been Jacob Beckman, the amazing person who came into our lives as a bundle of pure love and now has grown into a young man, a high school graduate, which is a rite of passage on your own hero's journey that you spoke about earlier today, and the beginning of a brand new journey. Thank you for taking us on this ride. You made us parents in the first place, and you made us better ones over these 18 plus years. All our love, son, your mom and dad.
Hi, good morning. My name is Stephen Thomas, and my wife Erica and I are the very proud parents of Britton Thomas, who's been at Woodhall for 3 years and today has graduated and is moving on to new academic and life adventures. And as my family completes this chapter of life, it's really important that I express the immeasurable gratitude that we have for having had the opportunity to be members of the Woodhall community. We are grateful to the Wells family for introducing us to the Woodhall School and connecting us with Matt just about 4 years ago. Erica and I are grateful to Britton for having the courage and the maturity to choose Woodhall. There were easier and much less complex paths to choose, but even at a young age, Britton knew what the more fulfilling and rewarding choice would be. Finally, we are deeply grateful to the Woodhall School. For Matt, Sasha, all the faculty, the adult mentors, the staff, the Woodhall students, and their families. Thank you for providing a well-rounded and high-quality education to our students, but more so, thank you for providing an understanding, compassionate, and supportive environment for our children. As Matt says, for more than 40 years, the Woodhall School has been meeting students where they are instead of perseverating on where they should be, and saying yes when other schools say no or that's not possible. And because of this orientation and approach to education and mentorship, lives have been transformed and futures changed. And for all of this, we cannot thank you enough, but we will keep trying. Thank you.
Hi, Tim Coughlin, Dean of Studies, English and Social Studies teacher. I hate speeches. I wasn't going to give a speech. I wanted to do a regular Irish exit and just kind of disappear into the background like Homer Simpson, just go into the weeds and be gone. But maybe the communications program has gotten to me in some way. Maybe Mr. Funstock's idea of gratitude, has gotten to me, so I should say thanks. Also, I need to attribute it to a discussion that I had last night that probably put me over the edge to speak to begin with. That was with a 9th grade student who came up and told me that he had thanked one of the seniors after the graduation ceremony in which Mr. Woodhall gave him a light, and he thanked that student for bringing him out of his shell, all right, and then that student, a senior, gave him his torch and said, well, do it again next year. So it was pretty touching and moving, so I decided to give it a whirl and be thankful for all the people. I thank Matt Woodhall for giving me the opportunity to be here in the first place after my last school closed. I thank the rest of the administrative team, Ms. Skulski, for constantly being a mentor and supportive, putting in her tireless hours of effort that she does all the time, which you well know. I thank Mr. Funstock for his mentorship, and all the other administrators, Mr. Booth, all right, for his energy and creativity, all right, those people who worked with me before, like Mr. Marsnick, who's over there right now, for his passion as an educator, and for Ms. McCrisky for her friendship. So I also need to thank all the faculty who stand behind me, who put in all of those hours, all right, to support you guys, and I need to thank the Woodhall kids. And I use that term particularly. I hear that term thrown out a lot, Woodhall kid, right? And it's become, in a way, some sort of negative connotation. And that frustrates me, because when I look out right now and I see all the people who are here, right? I see kids who have thrived academically, who've gotten 5s on their AP tests, who will get 5s on their AP tests. I see kids who got academic awards after being told that maybe they're not smart enough, that maybe they weren't going to succeed. I see kids who have college acceptances, numbers of them, who didn't think that they were going to go to college. Those are Woodhall kids, all of them. I see kids over there on the side who graduated, who've gone off and are doing good things. All right? I see kids, when I look out now, who had never been on the stage before and have earned awards. All right? I see kids who have put in effort behind the scenes with their teachers, all right, who've gotten Halo awards. I know that there are kids who have never played organized sports before and have gone out on that field, right, and thrived. I know there are kids who have won all HVAL athletic awards because of their efforts there, and those are Woodhall kids. But you don't need to tell me, all right, that we need to support those kids just when they're succeeding. And that's what I really love about the Woodhall School, is that we cannot be with kids just when they succeed, all right? I don't need Brene Brown to tell me about empathy and sympathy, all right? Because when you are a long-suffering fan of franchises like the Cubs and the Bills, you understand what it means to be with kids when they are the lowest. Even those kids, all right, right now who use that term negatively, we need to be with those kids too, all right? Because I know that some of these kids, all right, have gone through tumult in their lives, whether it's social strife, all right, whether it is problems at home, they've still thrived. They've overcome those obstacles, and they have done so for the past 41 years now. They are doing so. They will continue to do so. So I need to give a shout out to all of those Woodhall kids, all right? Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam taught me that we are not fair weather, but foul weather fans, all right? And we will always be with you guys, and you guys have a fantastic group of mentors who will always be with you too. Thank you to all the Woodhall kids and all the teachers and all the families that have supported us through our mission. Thank you.
Sue, board chair, you get the last
All
word.
right. I don't think I can top that, though. Hi, I'm Sue Moline. I'm the very proud chair of the Woodhall Board, which is a group of parents and also gentlemen of Woodhall. You might not have met us, but we are deeply dedicated to the school and to Matt and his vision for the school. And I just wanted to communicate to all of you to congratulate the graduating seniors on behalf of the Board of Trustees, and also to congratulate your parents. Bravo to all of you. You made it. You made it. On behalf of the board, I also want to thank our tremendous adult mentors and the Woodhall staff. We're very proud and proud of you and grateful. And of course, Matt, bravo to another fantastic year. Thank you from the board. We don't know where we'd be without your leadership, so thank you.
Ready, Terry? All right. Thank you so much. Gentlemen, please rise as we have our recessional.